Okay, hello student. Today I'm going to make the solution of assignment 3. As you noted in previous assignment, you people were not doing very well. So this is solution for assignment 3. The first thing I'm going to do is to create the new project. So you have to click on the file tab, inside the file, new, after that project. Then we have to select ASP.NET Web Application, which is already coming in recent project templates. You can also select templates from here. The next thing is click the next button. Okay, now I have to write my application name, so I will write it assignment 3 B. Okay, then location is fine for me. You can also change location from here. Next I will press create. Okay, here the current solution will be closed. Save changes to the following. Yes, actually I haven't saved my previous solution, that's why this problem was happening. So now you have to select from this list, and we are going to make a web API. So I will select the web API, and then I will click create. Okay, then project is created for us. Now as you know that in assignment 3 you have to create one model class and one controller class. So the model class name was given to you already. So now in this solution I will make a student model. So I will go to Solution Explorer. This is our Solution Explorer. Inside the Solution Explorer there should be a model folder. You have to right click on the model folder, then click add. After the add, then you have to select new item. New item is selected. Now over here a web is already selected, but we are going to make a model of ch class. So I will select code option. After this I will select the class. We are going to create a class. Then at the bottom we have to change name of the class. So as you know, I'm going to make a model for student. So I will write student over here. Then I will select add button. Then a student model is created for us. Now here we will write some attributes or properties of the student. So I will write the first attribute as ID, and we will also write the setter getter method for this ID. Is it done? The next thing is I will write, after the ID I will write name. So name should be string name, and I also need to write getter setter. This is also done. The next thing I will write over here is department. So department should also be string. I will write depart setter getter method. This is a setter getter method. And the last thing I will write over here is GPA. So GPA should be a float or double. So I will make it double and GPA. Now setter getter methods. This is setter getter, and these four attributes are fine for the solution. You can also create some more attributes like first name, last name, etc. And which semester student is studying, you can also make it. So I will save this model class. Now model class is created for us. The next step we are going to do is to make a controller class. So this is our controller folder. Here you can see already two controller are created. Some student edit the values controller for their set, which is not fine. For each model you have to create your own controller. So I already have more home controller and values controller, but as I have made another model class which is student class, so here we need to make a controller of student. So I will click controller folder, right click on it, then I will select the add, then we will go to controller. Okay, now here we will see that there is a lot of controller. I will select the web API. From the left drop down list we will select the web API, and after this we will select web API to controller with read and write action. So this is selected. Now the last thing is add. Okay, after adding this we have to write the name of our controller. So our model class is student, so our controller class name should be student controller. Then I will click enter. Okay, a model class is created for us. As you can see, this is a model class for student which consists of get method, post method, and also put and delete method. So now the first requirement of the assignment is I write it over here. The first thing is that which is not written over here, we have to return all student data when the first get function is called. So if we need to return student data, so first we need to write the student data. For writing the student data, I will make a student list over here, list, and I will write student. Okay, student is not accessible over here. Why? Because we haven't include a model. For including models, I will write using then application name. So our application name is assignment 3D dot models. Now I can use any model over here in this controller. So inside the list, now I can write student model. Yes, this is the student class. Now it is accessible. As you can see, now I will write a list name for student list. I will go and write it student list equals to new. After new, this address will be like this and this. Okay, next I will write it like this, semicolon over here. Now we will write new students over here. So this will be our first student, and the first student, first we need to write the ID of the student. It will be 1. The next whole thing was name, so name should be a string, so I will write it Ahmed. And the third thing was department. This is department equals to, department was also a string type. I will write it CS over here. And the last thing was GPA. So this is the GPA equals to, and it was double type, so I will write 2.5. Okay, fine. Now this is the list, but I think I am making some mistakes over here. Okay, here we are facing a problem, an error. I will hover a mouse on the error and it is saying that a namespace cannot directly contain members such as field or methods. या मैं कह रहे हैं कि नेम स्पेस के अंदर डायरेक्टली आप कोई भी वेरिएबल क्रिएट नहीं कर सकते. ऑब्वियसली अगर आपने कोई भी वेरिएबल क्रिएट करना है तो आप उसको क्रिएट कर सकते हैं क्लास के अंदर, नेम स्पेस के अंदर नहीं. नेम स्पेस के अंदर सिर्फ क्लासेस हो सकते हैं. सो हम इसको यहाँ पर पेस्ट कर लेते हैं और अभी हमारे पास वो एरर खत्म हो जाएगा. ओके, now we will continue. So I will make some other object of this student. So continue, and I will create up to 6 or 7 objects. I will change their IDs 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will also change the name, hover, and Oman, and Ali, and Umar, and the last thing Hanan. I will write Hanan. Okay, some people who should belong to SC. Okay, now I will also change the GPA to 2.7, 2.9, 3.1, 3.5, and the last one is theta percent 3.7. Okay, now 6 objects are created. Now we are done with creating a student list. After this, I will run my application. So Control F5, application. Now application is in running condition. I will write over here API, and the model name was student. Press enter. So here it is giving me value 1, value 2. Why? Because this get function is returning a string array which consists of value 1 and value 3. Now what was our our first task? The first task was, when we call this get function, it should return us the whole student list. So we are returning the whole student list. Then we will change the return type of this get method, and we will write it list, and inside list we will mention which kind of object this list should contain. So it will be student list. Now we change the return type, so we also need to change the return object. Now it should be a student list. Okay, this is now changed. Again we will run our program and we will see what is the output. Okay, program is in the running condition. I will write API student, and bingo, it is giving me the data of all the student, all 6 student. If you can check the IDs, ID 1 2 3 4 5, and the last one is ID 6. Okay, now the first task was completed. Second task, search student with ID. So this task could be done with the help of this method. Inside this method already they are getting an input in a variable ID, and it is returning us a string which is a value. So right now if you give this system any ID, it will return you a string value. Let me check it over here. So this is the student. After the student I will write an ID of 1, and you can see it is giving me a string which is value. Now we need to change this. What was the query? The query was search student with ID. Whatever ID we provide to the system need to give us data update specific student. So I will go over here, and now in this query we need to return the whole data of a student. Mean it should be an object. An object of which kind? It should be an object of student kind. So I will change the return type. When I change return type of this method, you can see here we are getting an error, because the return type is a student object and we are returning a string. That's why an error. So I will convert it to none. Now there will be no error. The next thing, we are going to search student with ID. So whatever ID we provide in URL, it will come over here in this ID variable. So I will write a for each loop. Inside for each loop I will create a variable student st, and it should be a student list. Now what is going to happen over here? From the student list, each student object will be stored in st, and then we will write condition for date object. If the condition is right, then we will return the data update specific student. So I will write an if condition over here. Inside this if condition we will write if student dot id equals to the id given in the URL. Then we need to return the object update specific student, which is st. So if you can understand this small piece of code, this for each loop will traverse on the whole student list, and inside this for each loop an if condition was written where we are searching for the ID same as the ID provided by the customer or user. If the ID is matched, then we are returning that object of the student. Now our return type is student, and we are also returning only one object of the student. So let me check the output of this program. Okay, program is executed, and we will write a student with ID 1. So let's check. Student ID 1, yes, this is ID 1 and the name is Ahmed. Let me check, is it giving me correct information? Yes, this is student Ahmed with ID 1. So our first task was completed, which is search student with ID. Okay, the next thing is, what if I tell you that show only name of the student with given id in URL. It means that whatever id is provided in the URL, you are not going to show the whole data of the student. You need to show only the name of that student. So now here we are asking for only one string, which is only one thing, which is a name. So our return type should be changed from a student whole object into a string, because now we are returning only a string. So I will change it into a string, and when the id of student match, from here I will return the name of that student only. Okay, so now my return type is a string, and what I'm returning over here, it's a student name, which is also string. So both are matching with each other, and it will be working fine. So in this way, whatever your end result will be, you have to write the type of your end result over here, whether it is a string, whether it is a student object, or it is a list of the object, and then you have to return the same thing from here. Again, I will check my application. The application is in running condition. I will write student with id1. So the application is supposed to give me only the name of the student, which is Ahmed. Here you can see it is returning me only the name of the student, which is Ahmed. Okay, the next thing, these two things were done. Okay, the third step is show student having id equal to or more than the given id number in the URL. Now they are asking for multiple students. They will providing us an id, and we have to return all the student having id equal to or more than the given id number. So if you can think on this problem here, maybe there will be no student having id equals to or more than the given id, but maybe there will be only one student having id equals to the id, but maybe there are multiple students. So if there is a probability of returning a multiple student, then we will change the return type and we will write it as a list. And which kind of list it should be? It should be a student list. So now our return type is changed, and it will be a student list. Okay, the id provided by the user will come in this. The same for each loop we will write, but this time we can return as list of student. For that purpose, first we need to make a list of the student. So we will make a list of the student with name, and I will write the name is stlist equals to new, and this and this. Now I had created a temporary student list with the name stlist. Okay, the next thing is for each loop, which is working very good. Okay, now we will write that when the id is equals to or more than. So for equals to, I also put condition. For equal or more than, I put this sign. Now this if condition will be true if the id of the student is equals to or more than the provided id. So when the condition is true, we don't need to return the student name or only the object of the student. What we need to do is to add the student in the list. So I will write student.add, and it will be st. So if a student id is equals to or more than the provided id, date student will be added into stlist. When for each loop execution is completed, maybe it give us no student with id equals to or more than the provided id, maybe it will give us one student, maybe it will give us many students. So at the end, after the for each loop, we need to return the stlist. Okay, now my code is completed. I will run the project. Project is in running condition, and I will write the query, and inside the query I will write it 4. Mean I need to check to show only those students having id equals to 4 or more than 4. Press enter, and here you can see they are providing us with only those students having id equals to 4 or more than 4, that is 4 5 6. Now our last thing is we done with this. The last query is show students having ID more than the given ID number and GPA more than 2.5. Here another condition is given. We are, which is a hard code. The ID should be more than 2.5. So we will change condition, and not only the ID will be greater than or equals to this, also we are going to put a condition on the GPA. So I will write this dot GPA more than 2.5. Okay, now I will run my application and let's see what is the output. First we will see that students with GPA more than 2.5 is 1, 2, 3, which is Ali, Umar and Hanan. So what we will give it the ID 5. So by giving the ID 5, the system need to show us the data of only these two students. So now application is in the running condition. I will provide the ID 5 over here. Let's see. Yes, and it is giving us the only the data of those two students having ID more than 5 and GPA more than 2.5. So these are all questions related to the demo of the previous assignment 3. Hope so you understand the demo. Hope so you understand the video. Thank you so much.